Hello everyone, my name is Leo and this is my first ever TouchDesigner tutorial. Today we are making this luminous colorful cross. I don't know really how to call it, so whatever you may prefer. I think this is a fun and cool composition to make. So first be sure that you already have one of the latest versions of TouchDesigner because we are using pops. And also I think this is a beginner friendly tutorial because it isn't quite difficult, but if you need to understand the most basic things about operators, probably you should watch another tutorials first. You can always come back to this, but it isn't really difficult. So let's start with tutorial. So we start with the pops network. So we create an sphere that will be the base of the figure. We just change the radius to 0.1 and 0.1 on X and Z axis. So we have this shape. We want to have it also horizontally, so we create a copy and we set the number of copies to 2 and rotate the Z axis to 90 degrees. So we already have like the cross. You can set more copies if you want a more complete figure, I don't know, but for me 2 works cool. So now we have to create the movement. So we make a feedback loop. We create a keyboard in to restart it whenever we want. We reference it on the start, the chop reference. We create a transform which will make the movement of the cross a null that I will recall as feedback end and drag it into the feedback. So we have the target pop as feedback end, and right now this is working, but nothing is changing because we haven't changed any parameter yet. So we rotate the all axis to minus 0.4. So we have this soft movement. You can make it higher if you want, but too crazy I think. So yeah, we already have the pop network. In this case it's very simple, but we create now a null and leave some space because at the end of the tutorial we will come back to make like some alternative version to the final result. So now that we have ended the pop network, we are setting the render. So make right click and select geometry, add a camera and add a render top, activate, well, we are going to make an out and activate the out. So as you can see right now, this is like the most boring thing ever, but it is in the render when the magic comes out. So we are creating a PBR material, and we drag it into the geo. We select material. We create an environment light. So what we are going to do here, it's actually like create the color from a light, and that light, it is actually a pattern chop. So we create a pattern chop, and we transform it into a top, so chop 2, and we create a null that I'm going to recall as environment map, and we drag it into the environment map. So nothing has changed yet, but we are going to the PBR, and we are going to change the roughness to 0.139. So we already have this metallic look that it is looking cool, but it is actually so far of what we want. So we come back again to the pattern, and we need to change the parameters so we can have a real color. So in the channel names, we change the channel to RGB, and in the chop 2, we change the data format to RGB. So now it is black and white, but if we start to change the face step, we can see that this starts to get color. So what I had in my composition is 0.102. So we have this color, but you can change another if you want. But we haven't the stripes that we had earlier. So for making that, we need to change the number of cycles. Right now is 1, but if we start to increase it, we can see that this starts to get more stripes. In my case, I've had 5.78, so we have like this cross that it is already very cool. This has so much possibilities because you can change the type to random. This doesn't look very good, but you can make some changes. But yeah, I like this way to create a color. In fact, I posted some days ago in my Patreon a system that uses these lights. It is for free, so if you want to check it out, yeah, you can find it there. So now that we have the colored cross, we just need to create the post-processing network. First, we are going to change the render to 720 by 1080. We are going to get it closer. So maybe too much. Yeah, that's fine. I made it originally like this, so that's why I'm using the vertical format, but you can use horizontal if you prefer. Well, I'm going to adjust it a bit more, sorry. Yeah, that is fine. So we take the out and we drag it far away, because we are going to need a lot of space. So first we are just creating a normal feedback loop. Well, first we create a null, and now we create a feedback, add a transform, a transform, and a level. So we have this, and we create an over. We join the level into the over in the second input, and we drag the over into the feedback. So we already have like this cross moving. First we are going to split this by 2 to make it more easy to follow, and we are deactivating the backdrop tops. So we have this. We are selecting the keyboarding into the pulse chop reference, so we can restart it whenever we want, sorry. Actually, I don't know if I say it correct, but anyways. So we are now in the level, and in the opacity we're going to change it to 0.9. So we are having now this feedback to the movement, but we are going to change the scale of the transform to 1.006, so it is even more soft. So we just ended the first feedback. That is like the most simple feedback that you can make in tops. So we are dragging the out even further away, and we are creating now another feedback. First create a null, but we are creating another feedback that is a bit more complex. I learned this in another tutorial that it was used in a different way, but I still recommend it. That is the iridescent amoeba of Laura Alice. That it is a pretty good tutorial, very detailed, so I really recommend it. So first we create a feedback. We will add 2 lens distort. We copy the first and we join both in an add, so we can see them. We are referencing this feedback also. Sorry, chop reference. And we are writing some specific values in both lens distort. So the first one is 0.673 and the P2 minus 0.251. And in the lens distort 2 we change the K1 to minus 0.952 and the P1 to minus 0.558 and the P2 to 0.433. So we already have this shape that yeah, it is looking pretty cool. Now we have to add displays and displace it by itself. We are changing the values, the displace weight to 0.1 and the mid and the source to 0. So we are going to add now a transform and a level. This feedback is done, but we will have to adjust some values, but I will show you how this is going with an over. Join the level to the over. So as you can see, that distortion is created, but it isn't moving around. So we select the over into the feedback, and this is a bit crazy at the moment, but it is working. So we have to adjust the level in the opacity and change it to 0.9, no, sorry, to 0.383. So we have like this moving around with the main composition. Now here we can change the tile to hold and the scale to 0.9. So we have the effect of the pixels holded, that in this case looks pretty good. So this is almost done. We are going to add here an RGB key, and this is actually looking pretty good. We could just change the black level to 0.2 or 0.1 maybe, well, even 0.05, and you will get a good contrast. But I made this in a different way, that I look like more post-processed. We add here a composite, and we are creating two noises. We can copy the first. We are making this, change the period to 0, and now we are going to change the exponent to 0.92, the amplitude to 0.02, and the offset to 0.826. So we have like this very low contrasted noise, and we are going to join it with the comp. We need to change the resolution to 720 1080, and now we are changing the operation of the comp to reflect. So this is a pretty good result. In fact, it is the first version that I posted in my social media. Maybe you can animate the noise, but it won't change too much in this case. And in this second noise, we are going to set the period to 0 and the exponent to 2.68. The amplitude stays the same and the offset to 0.18. So we have like this darker noise, which changes to 720 and 1080, and we join this into the comp, and you can have this even more contrasted look. So this is almost finished, but I forgot to details. You can animate this noise, so you can see that movement like it was some, I don't know, stars, something like that. And you can animate the face of the pattern as time seconds multiplied by 2, so it creates a more subtle movement. So yeah, but what I'm going to do now is to end the pop network with an alternative coloring. We create a texture map and lookup texture, and what we are going to do is to use the pattern as the lookup texture in the pops. So we drag it as the top in the lookup texture, and we are going to change this to text 0 and 1, and now we just have to attribute color. So we have this alternative version that you can change in the texture map, some details if you want. I don't know, but this looks pretty cool for me too, and it is actually just a slight change. So for those who are interested in supporting me in my Patreon, I will leave the project file of the first composition and this second one that it is a bit more complex, but for those who want to support, it will be available. So yeah, this is all. Thank you for watching this tutorial. I hope it was useful and explicative. This is the time that I was making something like this, so I've had some trouble, but I am happy with the final result. So yeah, let me know if you have some doubt or anything, in the comments, and see you soon.